Hello, bonjour. My name is Denise Willerton. Welcome here. Let's get more photos into our album here. I'm getting there. I don't know how long this is going to take. I think this is like part 17 or something. I don't know if that's ridiculous, but welcome here. This is an album that I created. I meant to bring forward. Sorry, I don't like to do this and vacate, but I taught this class on how to create this album. So this is what everybody created. So everything is black and unfinished, and there's nothing pretty in here, but the potential is ridiculous. So it is a 3-page album. So here's the 3 signatures right here. 1, 2, 3. I think that's what they call a signature. I call them pages, I guess. And then at the end, there's a waterfall. There is a printed picture tutorial as well as a private YouTube video if you want to create an album like this, okay? I walked you through this on the private portion, and then publicly I have been covering the album, and now we're popping pictures in there. I wasn't sure that I was going to do that, but then I thought, you know what, let's just go ahead and do it so people can kind of get an idea. Now the front cover isn't totally finished because I do want to put some ephemera on here. I just don't know what I'm going to do yet. These pictures have yet to get populated in there, and I don't know if this happens to you, but crazy thing, last night when I was sleeping, or falling asleep, I had an idea of adding another little element to this page. Now, I'm not sure where I'm going to. I need a pocket, and so these pictures have already been done, and they're all double-sided. So I just popped them into this pocket here, and maybe if we have them standing tall, they won't go missing. Okay, and there's a magnet closure. Now in here, I have a picture in that pocket there. Now if we flip over, we're still kind of in the baby mode here. So all I need is a pocket in order to add some more pictures, and maybe this is, yeah, there's a pocket here, and no, there's no other pockets. Okay, well there's a pocket here, but I'm still going to go ahead with it. So we bump from, this is a little bit crazy, but we bump from baby to fishing. So when I put down the design paper for this, I knew I wanted to do it for Owen, and I know he loves to fish, and I wasn't thinking further ahead that I have infant pictures here, and then all of a sudden we jump to this like 10-year-old boy, but that is okay. You know what? There's no rule. But normally I would not have done that. So this was the last page that we created together with the pictures, and that was this. And so now I know that I want these other pictures in here, and I will get to that other pocket thing if time provides, okay? Now, when I left you last week, this is a paper clip, and I do have a video on how to create that. So last week we added a photo into this little Z-fold booklet. We could also put a photo back there now that I think of it. Let's see how this goes. I think these are the end of my fishing photos though. This one would look fabulous here. So let's go ahead and do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to trim back this white on here and then put a black mat down to put that into that spot. and putting the black mat just helps the picture to pop. Well, good morning, Debbie, and good morning, Kathy. I thought I would be talking to myself all morning, but I guess I'm not. Happy to see you here. So Kathy, yesterday when I asked you to pop into my Facebook group and do a hello so I could see if it popped up. Hi, Heather. Welcome here. You had done that, but what happened was I still didn't see it, and it's because I didn't have, I don't know if I can explain this properly, I didn't have my live connected to the proper Facebook page. So I am on Facebook this morning, and I'm on my Stampin'chezmoi Facebook page. So if somebody wants to, just do me a wee favor, pop in there to my Stampinchezmoi and just say a little hello, because I want to see if the Facebook comments populate onto this new streaming service that I'm using. Okay, so in the meantime, let's carry on with this. Okay, we're going to trim that back. So let's just pop that over there, and let's get our trimmer. And you know what? I am just going to use this big dude here because I like him. And I love it when you girls welcome each other like that. Let's just take a smidge more off and a smidge more. And I guess this top band must have been a little bit crooked. That's why I actually, you know what? We're trimming this right off. When I had my photos printed, I asked for the white border, but the white border is never really the size that I like, and it's never perfectly straight. So, okay, so Kathy, you said hello on Facebook. Thank you. On my Stampin'chezmoi page? That's weird because I don't see it here. Let me, oh, and I didn't bring my phone forward. Kathy, thank you for doing that. I don't know if there is like a minute delay or something for it. Yeah, so if you want a white border on your photos, my advice is don't ask the photo people to do it. Oh, wait a minute. I see a Facebook from Debbie. Thank you. So Debbie, you said hello on Facebook because I see the little Facebook icon there. So thank you for doing that. So then my Facebook messages do come on. And so I'm assuming that this Facebook message right here that I'm looking at, right there, Debbie, I think you must have been on the Chezmoi page, okay? Now how, oh, it's that easy to take it off and on. Yeah, I don't want to take the time to go hunt around and see where I'm actually posting. Okay, let's get this white matted. And what we're going to do is we are going to measure that. So this measures, okay, we're going this way with my little fiskers. And I am going to, so I am going to cut at 3 3/4. So remember that in case I forget. 3 3/4. And I should have cut the other way, but that is okay. 3 3/4 by, and that's going to go too long on here. So if I just kind of did a fake dry fit and scoot that under, I can kind of see where I want to go. Perfect. I thought you were going to matte. I am, Debbie, but I want to matte with white first. So I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, I think you totally can tell. See how skinny this white mat is at the top and how much wider this side actually is? I don't like that. So I'm just going to cut this white mat off from the photo store, and I'm going to do my own white mat. So there it is. It's not down yet. And again, when you are white matting, or when you are adhering a photo, never use glue behind a photo. Only use either tear and tape or a tape runner or such as that. So I got super frustrated a couple of weeks ago with my Stampin' Seal, and I threw the whole thing in the garbage, and I regretted it after. So Stampin' Up! Is actually sending me another one, because I do like, I'm trying to get my cover off of that. I do like my Stampin' Seal, and maybe I just need to learn to work with it different. So in the meantime, I'm going to use my Easy Runner, and I do like this, but I think I still prefer my Stampin' Seal. I think I'm just used to having something smaller in my hand, and I can't seem to get right to the edge, which is where I would want to be. But I do like this. I like how it feels in my hand. Okay, so we've got tape behind our photo, and now let's put that down. Now I always like to hold it up, and I like to line up the longer side first, because I feel like I get a better eyeball. Okay, so it's not perfect, but you know what? It's handmade. So there it is with the white mat. Look what happens when you put the black behind it. How now that just pops, right? So let's find out the measurements for the black, and that is going to be too small, so we're going to cut it the other way. I'm just going to trim this just a smidge. Just a smidge. Okay, so now this measures 3 3/4, so let's go 3 7/8 by, and we're going to do the same, or actually, you know what, let's do it this way. Let's do it the cheater way. Where's my pencil? And so there's my pencil mark, and I'm going to cut right on that pencil mark just to give me the height of that mat. And there it is. Excuse me. I opened my front door, and I think the smoke is slowly entering the house. So that was 3 3/4 wide. So let's go between 3 7/8 and the 16th mark. 15/16, and let's see what that looks like. It's perfect. It's perfect. I'm going to take a smidge off of the height of this white. On that side, I like that better. And this side as well. There we go. I think that will be perfect. So here is our black mat, okay? And this white is cardstock. It's not from the Photoshop. So I can go ahead and put liquid glue down on there, because now I am cardstock on cardstock. And I am more a liquid glue person. I like the wiggle room. I just like the wiggle room. So now this guy is down, and he's going to go right here, like that. Okay, now if you want to put ephemera down and just kind of decorate that a little bit, let me show you a little, it's not a trick, but this is what I did last week when I was kind of organizing and revamping a little bit. I had an extra binder kicking around, okay? I marked it ephemera. It's like a real bright yellow. It's crazy. And these are little pocket pages that I got at the dollar store, and I believe I was at Dollarama, not Dollar Tree. I was at Dollarama. So these are for like Pokemon cards or hockey cards or something like that. Okay, so I've got all of my ephemera in here, things that I've die cut previously that could potentially be nice little ephemeras for albums. Like I love the keys and the locks. And I think in here I have fish somewhere. And so the beautiful thing of this, so these are smaller pages for smaller pictures or ephemeras, and then here are larger ones. So this is actually for photos. So these did not fit in there. And so these are all a little bit larger. Heather, you are so right. Okay, but I thought I had, maybe it was on the first page, right here. Here is a bunch of fish. So we can take a couple of those out and let's see what happens. It might not work because I tried before, and for me there's just something about the fish not being in water, but because I've got this blue-black background, I really like that. Okay, so Owen's going to go down there, and Heather, you are exactly right. You white mount, and then you black mount, and all of a sudden that photo just seems to pop. Now we're on cardstock, so we can use our liquid glue. This is just a silicone mat for kitchen use, but I like that it's bigger. And so I'm just going to kind of eyeball where I want this. And I never use dimensionals when I'm in a photo book. I don't like that dimension. Now, here's where I was thinking we could potentially put fish, but I don't know how I feel about that. I'm feeling like it just takes away, your eye kind of goes there rather than right there. So we're going to nix that idea for now, and we're going to move on to our next photo. Okay, now this one, this is a little slider. I could place a photo here. I think I need a few more, okay, because I don't have more fishing photos. And then this is just a spot to journal. And I kind of patinaed that up on purpose. You can't see the tab. See how it kind of looks a little bit not sloppy, but anyway, I did that on purpose. There's some of the gray on here. Okay, we're going to cut this down. So I'm going to get rid of a little bit down here and a little bit up at the top, but I don't want to take too much off. So let's get that trimmed. And We are, oh, you love the extra fish. Okay. Okay. Thank you for that. Oh, and you know what? I should show you something. See this one here, how it's shiny. Yeah, there you go. I actually have packing tape on it, and then I fussy cut it. This one doesn't. And I've got them both facing opposite direction on purpose. So you don't think, wait a minute, let me bring that back. You don't think that that takes away from the photo? Yeah, it does. Now that I'm looking at it here, it totally looks a little bit different, doesn't it? It looks kind of neat. So that's how you would decorate your album, with little pieces of ephemera. So I will, Heather, thank you for that. I will likely take your advice and do that. But I might put packing tape behind the other one just so that it's shiny like this one, because I like that. So let's cut a little bit from the bottom. So I even did a little bit of the picture. And now I know that I've got a nice straight edge there. And I don't want any white showing. Cut a little bit from the top. Okay. I think my cutter might be a little bit off here. So Kathy, are you working from home today? So my white is going to I'm going to need to cut a little more off because it doesn't quite fit, okay? And I don't want to take a whole lot of the ice, so we're going to grab a little more from the sky. Okay. Heather, thank you for that. So let's cut this down to, let's go 5 inches. So this measures 5 by 3 and 5/8. Let's just get a true 5/8 here so I know what I'm dealing with. Okay, I want a tiny bit more off at the height because I feel that once I get my mat in there, it's going to be too big. Okay, we're going to fix these fish later. Okay, set those aside. And so now I feel like I can mat this one. So remember these measurements for me, girls. I have, this is just a smidge. That is 3.5. I am 3 and 5/8 by 4 3/4. So 3 5/8. So I'm going to go 3 3/4. And what did I say? 4 1/4? Did I say 4 1/4? No, I said 4 3/4. So we're going to go 4 7/8. So there is, perfect. There's my white mat. Let's get that down. with our tape runner. I hope you're watching too, Kathy, and not just listening. Kathy is a new grandma, ladies, just so that you know. She has one granddaughter. She has a little bit of catching up to do. We have 11. Not granddaughters, but grandchildren. So she has a precious little girl in her family, which is lovely. Now some of this, I don't know if you can see, but that tape went over my photo. I want to pull that in. You do not want any tape sticking out. So you actually don't want to go right to the end of the line. There we go, and that one. Okay. So let's put our eyeball with our longer side first. So I'm kind of looking top bottom and making sure that my left side is approximately the same. So there's the white. And here's what happens when we put it down on the black. Let's flip that over. I've got a pencil mark. Excuse me. Excuse me. I could feel that coming. Excuse me again. I am so sorry about that. Okay, let's measure this. So we are, I'm going to go one at a time. We are 3 3/4, so let's go 3 7/8. So we have about 1/8 of an inch on either side. And we are 4 7/8-ish. So let's go 5-ish inches. Let's do a dry fit and see if we cut that properly. And we did. We have just a skinny, skinny edge of the black. Okay. Some of these get too small and I just throw them out. I'm tired of collecting little pieces that I think I'm going to use and I never do. Heather, thank you. And sorry about that. Coughing, sneezing. So here we go. We've got this photo down with our white mat. Now let's put our black mat down. Find our spot. Take advantage of our wiggle room. And now this dude is going to go down right there. Okay? So that's going to go down right there. I wish I had more fishing pictures. So again, we are on cardstock. So we can use our glue. I cannot wait to give these albums to our kids. My hope, but I don't think it's going to happen. My hope is this Christmas, but I don't think so. It might be next. Because I have 10 books to do. One of our grandchildren is no longer with us. Debbie, have a great day. Have a great day. You're at the lake. Go play. I'm not going to be much longer anyway. So you're not going to miss a whole lot. Enjoy your day, my friend. Bye. So one of our grandchildren is not with us. She is with the Lord. Hardest chapter we've ever walked through. So I have 10 books to create, and 3 of them are done. So I've got 7 to go. Okay, now this guy here is going to go on this page. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to remove the white. I'm going to take some of his jacket off. I'm going to go up a little bit and grab some of his of the sky there, just so that I'm not taking all of his jacket off. So let's start with removing the white. That's not going to quite do it. And that does it. Okay, we'll take a little bit off now. So Kathy, are you guys going on a hike this weekend? Let's take that little bit off at the top that I had mentioned, and we're going to trim this out a bit. I love it when you girls interact. I love it. Okay, I am going to still take a tiny bit more off at the bottom, because once I get this matted, I feel like I'm going to be too close to this edge and the bottom edge. So we're just going to take a little bit more off of his sweater, because that's kind of not that important. It's not really showcasing anything. Let's see if I took enough off. I think so. I think so. Oh, I want to try something while we're live, because apparently I can only do it when I'm live. No, I can't see how to do it. Okay, that's all right. Never mind. Oh, why did I put my cutter away? Let's measure where we are at. So we want a length of 4 7/8. So let's go 5 inches for our white. So I'm going to go 5. Yeah, I'll do 5. 5 inches, and we are 3 5/8 wide. So let's go 3 3/4. You know the crazy thing? I never figured out in school how to actually, you're going to Pinawa. That's where I want to go. Your sister lives there? How cool is that? What time is supper? Kidding. Kidding, kidding, kidding. Okay, that is so perfect. Let's get that down. Yeah, so when I was a kid in school, because I think you learn in elementary school how to actually read a ruler, I could, like, it wouldn't sink in. And I was fairly strong in math, but for some reason, I just couldn't do the ruler thing. But since I've become a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I have taught myself how to read a ruler, and now I know how to read a ruler. I feel like this corner right here is funny. I don't know if you can see that. I am going to I think I did it. Okay, let's get this down on the white. I want it a little bit thinner on this side, I think. Yep. I'm a little thick at the top. I'm just gonna whisker it. Oh, pickleball. I've never played pickleball. Is it fun? Let's get a little more happening here. Yeah, I don't know what we're up to this weekend, and I'm going to see if I can just whisker the bottom of it. I would rather it be a tiny bit too big, because you can't fix too small. You can only fix too big. Okay, so now let's measure this for our black. So we have 3 3/4. So we're going to go 3 7/8. Excuse me for one moment. Sorry, my nose was running. So I'm going to go 3 7/8 on my black. And I've got some scrap in here. I think that'll be perfect. Is it? That might be tall enough. So let's go 3 7/8 this way. We're going to mount this picture, and I think I have all of my fishing pictures mounted for now. Okay, so 3 7/8 by, where am I? I'm at 5 inches, so let's go 5 and probably 1/8. I'm going to go a little bit longer because I can always trim it out. Okay, so we're going to put adhesive behind the white. I think I would be terrible at it too, and it would be quite comical, I'm sure. Yeah, I use my math all the time, Heather. It's crazy. And so it's so funny. When I first started, I'm gonna mount it closer to the top, and then I just need to trim one end off. So I don't think anybody here has been to my classes when I first started, which was 20 years ago. True story. I used to, on my tutorials, it would be like, I would say, cut your mat 2 inches plus 2 ticks, because I didn't really know what that was, which is 1/8. Anyway, after a while, I was like, you know what? I need to really learn how to do this. So that's when I really learned how to do it. So that is going to be so perfect for there. Oh, and you know what? I can, I don't know if you're going to see this whole spread. If I did one fish here, rather than doing the 2 fish, why don't I do something like this? Close your eyes for a moment. I'm going to pull the camera up so that you can see the... Okay, so there you go. So rather than, there we go, that's better. So if I did one fish up here, let's move, I think I can, there we go. If I did one fish up in this corner, and I did one fish down there, somehow it just doesn't seem to be as busy as this, because that kind of finishes it. This guy over here kind of flows it across. I think I like that. I'm going to cover this one with packing tape, and let's do that right now, because I'm going to show you how I would do that. So because this is already cut, this one here, I put the packing tape right on. Oh no, I didn't put it right on the design paper. I did put it down. So let's put that dude down on there. Let's grab our packing tape. And let's put him down. I'm getting stuck on the packing tape. Put my little tab back on there. If you have these plastic tabs, they're great for the packing tape thing. Give that a smush down. We're doing it, girls. We're doing it. And let's just fussy cut that right with the packing tape. And then we have a beautiful shiny fish. And you don't have to do this. It's just if you have one that is already covered and shiny, or you could have wink of Stella'd it as well. I guess that's something else that you could have done, or that I could have done. Never thought of that till this very second. And then twist your paper, twist your paper. And Kathy, yes, I will do your fussy cutting for you, which is not a problem. There we go. So that guy is cut. Let's first put this photo down. Okay. So again, you never want to put adhesive on your photos or your elements when you're working on your book. Excuse me, that's where your silicone mat comes in. Whether you're using Stampin' Up's silicone mat, or you go to the dollar store and you buy yourself a package of silicone mats. I always work on a silicone mat. That's down. And if you're using your liquid glue and you realize that you have put too much down, I'm going to come closer to the end of his tail. All you do is let it sit. Let it sit for just a bit. It'll still be very tacky. Whoopsie, that was a lot. I'm just spreading this around now, because you do not want any glue on your photos. So let's just move this glue around a bit. There we go. So this guy is facing this way, so I am going to place him right down in the corner, right down here. This is just I believe I got this ages ago. at a dollar store. So basically what we've done is we have just created our own sticker, okay? And now this big dude is going to come over here and he's going to go down. So again, I want to cover the corner. My photo's a little high. I'm going to just hold these both down a little bit. And we will do a little recap of this page. So we jump from baby, like infant, newborn, first day home, to what? Look how big I got. So this is a pocket. So I am going to find more fishing pictures to put in there. This is also a pocket, and I put a tab on it, which kind of says, woohoo, you can pull this out, right? This is a flap, so we're going to close that, and there's some more fishing pictures there. So I could actually put another fish here, because when this page is open, like how fun would that be to have a fish here and a fish there? I can do that later. And when this is open, we've got it happening right there. Now, I had said at the beginning of my video that when I was falling asleep last night, I thought of an idea for a booklet. Now, I don't have the pictures, but I can still do the booklet. So that would file in here. So let me show you. I want to keep this open just so that my fish can dry up a little bit. So what you would do for what I was thinking of last night, now this is just kind of, I haven't tried it, so who knows. You're going to grab a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock, okay, and grab your Stampin' Trimmer or your scoreboard or whatever you want to use. I was going to use my scoreboard, but I don't know where it is. So let's just use our Stampin' Trimmer. Open up the arm. So this is 12 by 12. We are going to score that, and make sure you're grabbing your score blade. Okay, we're going to score that at 4 inches. Are you with me? Thank you for the thumbs up. Oh, have fun with your granddaughter, Heather. Sorry, I did not notice this. Have a great time. So you're going to score at 4 inches, and then you're going to score at 8 inches. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to cut. And I don't like to cut black cardstock if I can help it on my Stampin' Trimmer. So my scores are going this way, and I'm going to cut this right in half. So I'm going to cut it at 6 inches. So basically what I've created is, what is there? That is weird. How come it kind of, no, we're good. We're good. So here's what I've created. I have created 2 sets. So let's burnish our score marks. In a Z, okay? So there's one booklet, and we're going to do the same thing here. So, I mean, I could have done it separately, but why would I not create 2? So you're just going to take a 12 by 12 You're going to score at 4 and 8. You already have the black mat, so all you would do is you would put a white mat down and a photo, and what you've just done, once that is complete, is you have just created a little photo booklet. Now this is a deep pocket, okay, so I would put that in tall. You just created a photo booklet to slip into a pocket, and we already have this one that we created right before. That can go back in here, and so now we've got a couple more elements ready for more photos. Okay, there is a pocket here, so what I would do here, just so that I'm not taking away from these photos, is if I found another portrait of Owen fishing, it would go in there. So it would go in long, because I don't want to do this. I don't want to cover that because that's just way too precious. Okay, so that is what we did today. So thank you so much for hanging out. I'm going to cover another fish and put that down there, and I'm going to call that done for today. So Kathy, Heather, and Debbie, thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you have a great long weekend. It's going to be beautiful here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. So everybody have a blessed evening, have a blessed weekend. Be safe, have fun. We will talk to you later. Bye.